Hey guys, today's on schizophrenia. I got no dopamine. Schizophrenia, and I got no dopamine. But before we get to this, please allow my brief prelude. As you know, I conveniently recorded it for our mutual comfort, our mutual convenience, and our mutual luxury. And hey, listen, I'm no spring chicken. I know, I get it all the time, but I attest I'm not a spring chicken. Therefore, I've been around a few preludes in my many years. I'm telling you, this prelude, it's got something that's particularly luxurious, like an ever luxurious creeping juniper.
Hello there, my name is Robert Francis.
It's a shrub.
You stumbled on my Unconquering Schizophrenia
It's a
YouTube
shrub.
channel. Where me and the bird.
Bird's on vacation,
That's
so
right,
I could bring
we
you
talk
my
schizophrenia.
last book,
This
recent
is the
book,
cut of my
Who's
jib right
Who,
here
The
for
Legends
reasons
and
of medical
Icons Among Us.
confidentiality. I'm a licensed clinical social worker times 15 years. That's a lot of gabbing and chatting.
From around the
I've
world,
been diagnosed with
9 of the
schizophrenia for a
greatest,
score 5 and 1. And that puts a little gray fleck in my
pushing
beard.
the envelope.
Thank you for joining me on my channel.
Now,
Now
to topic. I got no dopamine. It's a problem for a lot of people. I got no dopamine. That's our pleasure neurotransmitters, our dopamine. In schizophrenia, the negative symptoms are bare, and all those negative symptoms are the result of I got no dopamine. Anhedonia, you don't feel any pleasure because you got no dopamine, and that's why we use antidepressants. People are depressed, they got no dopamine, that's why we do antidepressants. You know, they tell you to do behavioral things to help, exercise. Why? Because it releases dopamine. Hobbies. Why? Because focus, it releases dopamine. But for a lot of people, it's a problem. It's a chronic problem. I got no dopamine. What am I going to do? And offhandedly, that's why a lot of people with schizophrenia drink coffee and smoke cigarettes all day, because they got no dopamine. So they replace it with coffee and cigarettes and trudge through the day. So although it's very, very unhealthy, I can understand why people do it. I used to work at a group home, and the coffee pot was always brewing, and the porch was always cooking with people smoking. They really did, because they had no dopamine. Some people had schizophrenia, and we have the negative symptoms, and that means we got no dopamine. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Antidepressants and behavioral stuff. And of course, trying to think about it in certain ways, which I think is the least important of it all. But it's a consideration. And being aware of it and then remedying it is the goal. And at the end of the day, all of that is very, very luxurious, like a creeping juniper. I have this plant in front of my house, and I was like, what is it? And I asked AI, I showed it a picture, and it told me it was creeping juniper. So I have creeping juniper in front of my apartment, and it's creeping. All right, guys, enjoy the day. We'll see you next time.